Well, we had a great green day today, back in the green for the week. Made back the big loss we had on Monday. I'm happy about that. Hey, fellow traders, it's Black Coffee Trader. It's time to do the daily recap. Today is today's Thursday, June the 5th. And yes, had a very nice green day, up about 365 average, probably on all accounts. The lowest one here was 352, a little bit of account slippage. The highest one was 373 on the funded accounts. So very nice day, 2169 in profits on the 6 PA accounts today. So that was great. Also had a really nice day on evals, up 6,000, actually 64, almost 6,500 on my evals, an average of about 440, 430 across the Apex account. I had some weird slippage on the Tradeify accounts. I've got two of those. Those are up like 180 and 240 for some reason. There was an extra, I'm not sure what was going on. I had some issues with some of the charts today, but basically the Apex accounts, these 14 are up about $1,000 a piece. So we're about a third of the way to having them passed. And this one Tradeify is at 1,000 in profit, almost 1,100. The other one's at 700. So, you know, slowly but surely getting them across the finish line. And again, I'm not in a big rush. I'm just taking it slow and steady, copy trading them on my PA trades. And I'm also trading the Russell with my evals, and I was doing that today. Had an excellent trade here, and today caught this big move to the downside. This was triggered because of the sell-off that we had, or this breakdown below these key levels on the Nasdaq and on ES. That's what triggered that trade, and caught a really nice trade there. That really made the day on the evals, honestly. We were green before that trade, but that really put the icing on the cake. So but anyway, just kind of using my evals to test the Russell. I've liked it. I really have liked, since I've removed gold from my charts and put the Russell on. So we really have, you know, the stock indexes is what I'm looking at. The Nasdaq, the ES, the Dow Jones, YM, or the Russell RTY. So I really like that. I'm looking at the same concept, if you will, across several different indexes. So I really like that. So anyway, I'll keep trading this, probably with, you know, taking some extra eval trades on the Russell, and just, you know, getting my feet wet in the Russell and getting used to trading it. And then I'm sure at some point I'll be taking some PA trades on that as well. Unfortunately today, for some stupid reason, the trade performance tab is not working properly. So if you go to trade performance and I set this for today, I'll just show you the problem I'm having. And for some reason, it's just not working. So today is June the 5th. I hit generate. It shows a grand total of 3,900 in profits. And as on the group, all the accounts were at 8,600 in profit. So on the funded accounts, if I hit the filters tab and I select only the PAs, for some reason, like it's only showing 124 on that one. They're all off. It's really strange. And I reached out to NinjaTrader. It's showing I made 1,300. I actually made 2,169. I checked this with Rhythmic. It is dead exactly the same to the penny on everything. Evals, fund accounts, Rhythmic matches perfectly. There's no issues. There's something going on with the NinjaTrader trade performance tab. I reached out to them, and they basically told me that it was a prop firm issue, which I think is bogus. So I don't know. I'm a little bit sad about that, but hopefully it'll update itself maybe overnight. Sometimes I've seen that correct itself. If not, I'm gonna have to just do a manual entry on my why can't I say the word? TradeZella. I'm gonna have to do a manual entry on TradeZella if not. So which I hate doing that, because it kind of messes with everything that I've got in here, but we may need to. So in any case, but to round out where we're at today, was like a 62% win rate. I had 8 trades, 3 losers. I think that's a 62% win rate. And, you know, today up 2169. You add that to here, we are actually positive now on the week. We did not trade yesterday, traded today. 1,600 was our deficit, and so we're up basically $500, roughly 500. Actually about 560 is what we're up on the week. So I'll hopefully have this updated by tomorrow and can show you exactly where we're going. So I can show you this little spreadsheet that I've also got. This shows it exactly. Actually, I could have looked there, right there. 568 is where we're up on the week. So on Monday, I had the nasty red day, down about 500 per account. Had a $200 day on Tuesday, did not trade yesterday, and then today had almost a $400 day. So we are net positive on each account by about $100 on the week. So unfortunately, we had to dig that nasty hole on Monday, but we've crawled back out of it, and I like where I'm at. So anyway, on that note, I want to self-reflect here a little bit. I've pondered this the last couple of days. Let's go to the Dow. I was really upset with myself, and the recap on, I think it was Monday. Yeah. No, it was Tuesday when I had the nice day. I was really upset with myself on this trade. On the Dow Jones, where I entered here. In fact, I did have I had a level here. It's obviously I adjusted it since then, but I had a level here, which was why I took this trade. And I ended up moving my stop and getting stop loss, moved my stop and created a bigger loss, $250 loss, which is not typical. My typical size my risk is 150. And I was really upset after this trade. I was very, very angry after this trade, because at the time the Dow or the Nasdaq and the ES were pushing higher, and this thing just kept selling, and I kept moving my stop, and I finally, at max pain, took the exit at 250. Well, the problem there, and the self-reflection that I had, is I got upset because the market didn't do what I wanted it to do. And that's not where the mental space should be. The mental space it's a probabilities game. Most of I would say I would say I'm around the 50% win rate. Let's put it that way. So half the time I'm going to be wrong. And I have to remove emotion from my trading and just accept the fact that there's times I'm going to just flat out be wrong. And for whatever reason, we had a pullback on the Dow that morning. Why I got emotionally attached to having to have this trade be correct and getting upset when this pulled back and the NASDAQ and ES were pushing higher is really, really stupid from a trading perspective. So the self-reflection that I made is, look, I have to just accept the fact that I'm going to be wrong sometimes, and it's completely okay. Don't worry about it. Just go for the next trade. Make sure that I'm following my rules, and if the trade is incorrect, it's incorrect. And I tell you what, it really has put my mind at ease, and I think it really helped me today. I really pondered that over yesterday. I pondered it as well a little bit on Tuesday. I had a really nice trading day, but that Tuesday morning loss was really kind of an upset. And I pondered that on Tuesday evening. I'm thinking, man, I need to check myself mentally on, my mindset on this, because that's not a recipe for success. So it's something I really want to work on. I just felt like it was worth sharing because I felt like it definitely helped me mentally today. Going into the trade, understanding, look, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be down a max of 150. That's the way I have my risk set up. A lot of times I'm going to be down less than that, but if I'm wrong, that's the case. And that was the day. I think the first trade today, the first trade was actually a losing trade on ES. I took a long. We were holding this level right here, and the low of day from yesterday looked really good. Entered that trade long. It basically fell apart. Had some nasty slippage on the stop, but ended up getting stopped out there for $130-some loss. So that was the first trade. I don't recall. I think this was the second one. I almost had to be. I entered this short after we held there a little bit. I entered it short and held on to this trade for looks like about 30 minutes or so. Took two contracts off and then finally got stopped out on the last one for a positive, for a win. Anytime I draw a red box like here and a green box, it means this was my risk, this is my reward, and that was a winning trade. So did have a nice little winner there. Again, just not being emotional and just understanding that I'm in this because we have a breakdown of this level and I'm looking for this to continue to further downside. I took a couple contracts off. It stopped me out here and I was completely fine with that. Winning trade, no big deal. I'll just go through each of these. I'm not going to try to take the trades in order. I took a short trade here. This was a break-even trade. I should point out I did make one adjustment to my ATM. If you remember, I've had my ATM set to where when I get to, I want to say it was around 25% of the trade of my risk, my stop would move to break even, exactly break even. And so there were many times where I would get the first profit target and then get stopped out break even, which was fine, $30 winner. There were also times when it would not quite hit my first profit target, depending on how many contracts I was trading, and then I'd get stopped out, break even for a zero, for a loss, basically because of commissions, which I was fine with. However, this is the thought process. So it was, why am I risking getting taken out of a trade when sometimes it would literally just kind of wick around my entry and then could the move continue? And so I made an adjustment to my ATM strategy where now, if I am hitting my first profit target at $30, my stop loss, when it hits this, the stop loss then goes to where the loss on the remaining contracts, if I get stopped out, is $30, like with this trade here. First contract hit, it pulled back up, it did stop me out. The remaining contracts, I was in with too short the way this looks. So the remaining contract was here for a $30 loss. I don't think that's right. I thought I had more contracts than that. But basically, this stop loss will adjust. So if I'm in with 5 contracts, for example, that stop loss is going to sit pretty tight to the entry. If I'm in with only 2 contracts, the stop loss is going to sit further away. Basically, allowing the $30 win to result in a $30 loss and a break-even trade. And the reason for that is so I can hold on during some of that chop where it just tests and tests and then finally goes. And I really like it. And I am okay with a trade like this where I take one target off, I get stopped out, I have a break-even trade, whoop-de-doo, not a big deal. I only lose a couple dollars. And so I don't know, I just decided to make that change. And as of today, I really liked it. So those were the trades I took on ES. Let's flip back to the NASDAQ. I did take a couple. I took a short trade here, and this was just intuition. I really like this. This was not really part of my trade plan, but we were rejecting this quite heavily. We had this big wick in the pre-market. We had the big wicks right at the open, and then we were pushing down and we started to get a little hold under this 21,830 level. And I decided to just take it short. And it went down and almost hit. My first profit target was sitting right around the high of day from yesterday. It didn't quite hit it, but almost. And then it pushed right back up. And I just decided, you know what? This is why I trade not with emotion. I don't care about being wrong. I care about protecting my risk. And I said, man, I don't like that move. We're holding on the previous day high. I'm killing it. I'm getting out of that trade. I lost 20 bucks. Whoop-de-doo. Absolutely the right call. If I would have let it go, I would have got stopped out up here for probably a $60, $70, $80 loss, somewhere in there. I don't know where it was, but my intuition was correct. It was one of those price action understanding that, man, we just didn't get there, and it immediately reversed. It just had that feeling of this is a fake, and that's exactly what it was. I got out, and that's a muscle I want to keep building. I want to do more push-ups with that muscle. If I don't like the trade and it starts going against me, just kill it. Just get out. Look for another entry. And that was the right move because we ended up pushing higher. So, I mean, look, in hindsight, one could have taken this as a break and retest long, but I didn't take it, which was quite okay. I did catch a really nice short trade here at the in the afternoon session after this thing consolidated. It broke down, made a lower high, made another lower high, and just kept doing this. When we fell below this level here, this was part of my trade plan today, was a short setup below the 21,700, 712s, I should say. And when we got this hold, I entered that short. And this was one where the ATM strategy I just talked about made a huge difference. This trade here, on the old ATM strategy, would have gotten stopped out for a one contract winner. So I hit my first one here at 30, and it came up here, and you can see where this wick stopped. But my stop, I was in here with 3 contracts. My stop was sitting somewhere right in here. So the break-even stop, essentially, if it would have stopped me out here, $30 winner, $30 loser, break-even trade. That stop was sitting up here. So it allowed this trade to do its thing. After I got my target, it came back up here beyond my entry. I was able to survive it, and I got that full flush, and my last target was right down here at the low of days, got that. So that was a 30, 60, a 90, and another $110, $200 trade. Really, really nice trade right there. So excellent execution. That was one where, again, that ATM adjustment really made a difference. But happy that I took that shot. And again, I was taking that shot thinking, look, if it rejects, I'm just going to be out for a loss and move on to the next one. I'm not right all the time, and I can't attach myself emotionally to these trades. Flipping to the Dow Jones, took a couple of trades there. This one here this morning, I took a short after we rejected a clean, beautiful, clean rejection of the overnight low. That is not a trade that was in my trade plan, but the setup was so perfect. And again, not trading with emotion, just understanding, look, the setup is there. It looks great. And if am I wrong, I'm just wrong. I'm keeping my stop tight. And if I get stopped out, no big deal. Well, I didn't get stopped out. The crazy thing was, for some reason or other, I told you earlier about issues. My ATM strategy did not kick in place, and I had no stop and no profit target. No idea what happened, but I went shorted this with 4 contracts, and it just didn't populate the ATM. And so I just had my mouse on the close all button. And when we hit this next level, I just killed the trade, which actually ended up being perfect because we rebounded right back up there. So, but I had a really nice $160 winner trade there. This one here was part of my trade plan. A break and retest above the 42,547s and the low of day from yesterday. Took that trade out with a little bit of a winner there, 30, what is that, 160 we'll call it, and another about $90 some trade there. Nothing crazy. I was actually looking for this move to continue, which didn't happen, and we ultimately ended up falling apart across all of these indexes. Took another one here, took a shot here, out with about $60 there, out break even. This is one I manually just killed it. I didn't like the pullback and said I'm just getting out. And not a big trade, but anyway, I traded well today. I really traded well. I managed my trades really well. I didn't get emotionally attached, and the result is I had a very, very, very nice green day. And so one of the better green days I've had in a little while. $2,000 on 6 accounts, not bad. We talked about the Russell, I believe. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'll leave you with that. I've been rambling for way too long. We're almost 17 minutes in this video already. But again, just a couple things I wanted to share, and hopefully you find some value in that. That's why I do these updates. It keeps me accountable, and it helps me to become better. So that's why we do this. So anyway, that's the long and the short of today, no pun intended. And I just want to say thank you again for following along and supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys, every one of you. Hope you had a great day. Be back at it tomorrow. Keep your head straight, and let's keep putting green on the charts. Until next time, take care, and so long.